Hey guys, welcome back. Today pullbacks, how to buy the dip and ride a strong trend instead of chasing the top or catching a falling knife. Here is the whole idea on one real chart. This is Broadcom in a clear uptrend, making higher highs. Then it dips and everyone panics and sells, sure the run is over. But the dip just falls to support and holds, and a patient trader buys the bounce near $417, riding it almost $80 a share higher. That is a pullback. You join a strong trend on the dip instead of chasing the top. But in a downtrend, the very same dip is a falling knife. Let's learn the simple routine to tell them apart. Here is the secret that turns a scary dip into the best entry there is in a strong trend. Every pullback is the exact same trade. Learn one 4-step routine and you can buy the dip on any trending stock with confidence. Let us build it on a clean diagram first. Step 1. Confirm the uptrend. Before you even think about buying a dip, the stock must be making higher highs and higher lows. That is the engine pulling price up. If there is no uptrend, there is no dip to buy. There is only a falling knife. We will watch that exact trap spring later. Step 2. Mark the support. Price will not fall forever, it falls to a level. That level is the last higher low, the shelf the breakout came from. Draw that line, because that is where a healthy dip is supposed to find its floor and hold. Step 3. Wait for the bounce. This is where most people lose. They grab the dip while it is still falling and catch the knife. Instead, you wait for one candle to actually close back up off the support. That reversal close is the trend waking back up. That is your green light. Step 4. The stop and the target. Your stop goes just under support. If price closes below it, the dip failed and you are out for one small loss. Your target is the measured next leg, the size of the last push projected up from your entry. Small risk, a trend-sized reward, known before you buy. Confirm the trend, mark the support, wait for the bounce, stop below and target the leg. Now let us run that exact routine on 5 real charts and watch 3 very different traders take every one. Before we trade a single chart, meet the 3 traders you'll follow. Each one starts with the very same $10,000 and each one buys the dip on the same trending stocks. First, this is Maya. Maya is patient. On a dip, she does nothing until a candle actually closes back up off the support. Then and only then does she buy the bounce. Next, this is Cole. Cole is impatient. He either chases the top in a panic or he grabs the dip while it is still falling, and he never uses a stop. And finally, this is Reece. Reece is always late. He waits, he hesitates, and he only chases once the bounce has obviously already run. Same $10,000, same charts. The only thing that differs is their timing. So let's watch what that one habit does to their accounts. Pullback 1. The cleanest way to join a trend that is already running. This is the real micron chart, and we will watch it move one step at a time, following 3 very different traders through the exact same dip. First, the trend. Micron rips higher for weeks, printing higher high after higher high. The uptrend is loud and clear, and that is our permission to hunt for a dip to buy. But Cole can't stand missing out. He chases the very top, near 819, with no stop at all, the single most dangerous buy there is. Now the only price that matters is the shelf the breakout came from, down at 655. That is the last higher low, and that is where a healthy dip should hold. And right on cue, Micron pulls back straight down to that shelf, tagging 652. Cole, who bought the very top, is now down 20% and sweating bullets. Maya does nothing until that shelf proves itself. She waits, and a strong green candle closes back up off it. And that close, right there, is her entry near $700. Her stop goes just under the shelf at 635. If price closes below it, the dip failed and she is out small. And her target is the measured next leg, the size of the last push projected up, landing at 915, set before she risks a cent. Reece only believes it once the bounce is obvious. He chases near 895, paying up for a move everyone can finally see, and Micron runs. Target tagged at 915. Maya banks a clean 3R winner. The trend never broke, so she lets the rest run, all the way to 1079. Cole's reckless top buy got bailed out by that same trend. This time, that was pure luck, not a plan. Maya bought the dip with a routine. Reece scraped a few dollars chasing. Same chart, 3 habits. After the Micron dip, all 3 are green, but for very different reasons. Cole gambled on the top and got bailed out. Maya followed the routine. Hold that thought. Pullback 2, the same routine, but now the support is a price the stock already proved it respects. This is CrowdStrike, and it teaches the cleanest support there is. The trend is healthy. CrowdStrike pushes to a fresh high near 468, an uptrend intact. Then it starts to pull back, and watch where it heads, straight for 433, the price it broke out from. Old resistance flips into new support. Cole, as always, jumps in too soon. He grabs the dip while it is still falling around 440. No stop, sure he has caught the bottom. But the dip is not done. Price slides right back to that line at 433. It holds, barely. But Cole cannot take the heat of the red, and he panics out at 434 for a $1,000 loss right before it turns. Maya is not fooled by a wick. She waits for a candle to close back above the line, and the very next day one does. That is her bounce, and she buys it at 452. Her stop goes just below the support at 428, and her target is the next leg up at 505. Reece predictably shows up late and chases it up around 526 well past a clean entry, and CrowdStrike tags her target at 505. Another clean 3R for Maya, 2 more for the routine, and then it kept on running. She let the rest ride all the way to 782. Same trade, same plan. Cole got shaken out of a winner because he had no patience and no stop, and Reece scraped near the target. The routine just keeps paying the patient. After CrowdStrike, the gap opens. Cole got shaken out of a winner with no patience and no stop, while Maya banked a second clean 3R. Discipline is starting to compound. Pullback 3, proof that the dip does not have to be deep. This is service now, and the pullback here is shallow and fast, but the routine reads it the same way. The trend grinds to a new high near 104, still climbing. Then comes a sharp spike to 110, and Cole chases it instantly, no stop, certain the rocket is leaving. The rising shelf underneath is at 96, the last higher low. That is the line Maya cares about, and the stock dips back toward it, falling for barely 2 days. That little patch of red is all it takes. Cole panics again and dumps at 99, shaken out of a stock that has not even broken. Maya simply waits for the shelf to hold. A candle closes green right off 96, and she buys that close at 103. Her stop is $1 under support at 94, and her target projects the next leg to 124. Reece, late again, chases up near 124 once the bounce is undeniable, and the target is hit at 124, Maya's third clean winner, the account compounding trade by patient trade, and it ran on to 135. A shallow dip, a fast one, but the exact same 4 steps. Maya keeps it simple and keeps winning. Cole keeps getting scared out of trends that never broke. 3 dips, 3 clean winners for Maya, and her account is steadily compounding. Cole keeps getting scared out of trends that never broke, bleeding a little more each time. Pullback 4, the steady, boring winner. This is Goldman Sachs, not a meme rocket, just a blue chip grinding higher nice and steady. The routine does not care, it works the same. Goldman grinds higher to a new high near 968. Then the pullback comes, and this one is deeper than the others. A real scare. Cole, of course, jumps in on the very first red day near 950. No stop, calling the bottom early. But this is a deeper pullback and it scares everyone, sliding all the way to 924 before it finds the higher low shelf at 920. Cole, early and stopless, just bleeds through that deeper dip in the red. Maya waits for the deep dip to prove itself. One strong candle closes back up off the shelf, and she steps in at 982. Her stop goes under the low at 912, and her target is the measured leg up near 1090. Reece chases once it is obvious by now, up around 1025, and Goldman reaches her target. A 4th clean winner for Maya, no drama, just the routine. It drifts on up to 1092. 4 dips, 4 different stocks, fast and slow, shallow and deep, and the very same 4 steps, won every single one. Now the 5th chart. This is the one that separates a pullback from a trap. Now the 5th chart and the whole reason step 1 exists. This is MicroStrategy, and it is the trap that catches almost every dip buyer. It had been a rocket, but watch the top. It tops out near 197, and then it makes a lower high. That one lower high is everything the uptrend just broke. The engine that pulls dips back up has switched off. But here is a price that looks like support, an old shelf near 175. To a habit-driven buyer, it looks like just another dip to buy. Cole never checks the trend. He buys the dip out of habit at 178, no stop, because it looks cheap compared to the high, and Maya's first step saves her. Her rule is simple: no uptrend, no trade. She sees the lower high, knows the trend has broken, and she does not take it. She sits out and risks nothing. Then the floor gives way. That support cracks with no buyers underneath, because in a downtrend, support is just a shelf the sellers have not reached yet, and it does not stop. The selling collapses all the way down to 120. With no stop, Cole rides every single dollar down, and his whole account is gone. 1 trade. Reece chases a dead cat bounce too, the same greed, but Reece keeps a tight stop, so the knife costs him only a couple $100 instead of everything. So burn this in. A pullback needs a trend behind it. No uptrend, no dip, just a falling knife. confirm the trend first every single time. Here is the whole month on one screen. The same 5 dips, taken by all 3. Maya waited for every bounce to confirm, missed every exact low, and still finished up 33%, $13,300, because the routine gave her the entry, the stop, and the target, and she simply followed it. Reece chased every bounce once it was obvious and ended basically flat, a whole month of effort for nothing, because he bought high, tiny reward against big risk. And Cole was ahead early. A reckless top buy got bailed out by the trend once, but with no stop, the 5th chart was the trap. He bought a dip in a stock whose trend had already broken and rode that falling knife to the floor. One trade erased everything. He ends at $1,200, all but wiped out. Same 5 dips, 3 endings. The chart did not decide who won, the routine did. So here is your entire pullback playbook on one screen. 1. Confirm the uptrend, higher highs and higher lows, or you do not touch it. That one rule would have saved Cole's account on the trap. 2. Mark the support, the last higher low where the dip should hold. 3. Wait for the bounce, a candle that closes back up off that line, never a wick still falling. 4. Stop just below support and target the measured next leg. Confirm the trend, mark the support, wait for the bounce, stop below and target the leg. That is every pullback on every trending stock forever. The dip is not the enemy, chasing it without a routine is. That is pullbacks, not guessing the bottom, but one routine you run on every trending stock. Confirm the trend, mark the support, wait for the bounce, stop below and target the leg. Do that and you buy dips like Maya, not Cole. If this helped, subscribe. A new skill from scratch every week, and drop a comment with the stock you want me to break down next. See you in the next one.